Hey everyone, this is Pragati and this is my channel. Today we're going to have a look at mediums in oil painting. So let's go. Oil painting is probably the best known of the traditional painting mediums. It has been around for hundreds of years. One of the beauties and mysteries of oil paints is the veritable plethora of mediums available. However, some of the beginners find this scary as there are many mediums to pick from. To explain mediums easily, let's compare oils with watercolors or acrylics. We use water as medium along with watercolor paints to effectively get the paints across the paper. Again, in the case of acrylics, we use water as the medium. However, we cannot use water in the case of oils. Hence, we need to be using linseed oil or turpentine to get the paint effectively across the canvas. For today's demonstration, I'm going to be using a flat brush and a shot glass to pour my turpentine in it. Mediums are used to alter the state of the paint, such as transparency, consistency, drying time, and so on. Well, technically, some of these mediums are not mediums at all, but are actually solvents which help to thin down the paint. However, to keep things simple, I'll describe them as mediums. Alright, so let's have a look at them one by one now. So this is Sansador from Winsor & Newton, which is a spirit-based solvent or basically used to thin down the oil paints. Alternatively, we can use distilled turpentine, which is again used to thin down oil paints. Both Sansador and distilled turpentine come under solvents, but for the sake of simplicity of this video, I'm going to be calling them mediums. First, we look at turpentine. This is a traditional solvent that has been long used by artists to dilute the paint. Mix with just a little pigment to get a thin wash. It provides quick drying colors that are ideal for underpainting or creating general outlines of the composition. It is extremely effective in cleaning brushes, palette knives, even your palette after a painting session. However, it does have one significant drawback for many painters, which is the smell. Odorless solvents are, however, available in the market that can be used instead of turpentine. So look at the consistency of this turpentine, which is almost like water. Now the next big question is, what is the point of linseed oil? Or what is the point of liquid original? Well, purified linseed oil reduces the consistency of the paint just like turpentine, but it slows down the drying time of oils. There is another medium, which is the linseed stand oil, which is a thicker variant of the purified version. It dries to a tough, smooth and elastic finish, leaving no brush marks, which I've not covered in this, but just FYI. Let's look at the consistency of the oil, which has a viscosity like oil and it's shiny compared to turpentine. Though there are many options like poppy seed oil, safflower oil, walnut oil, sometimes even olive oil, linseed oil is the most popular choice among artists. Now that we've seen all the basic mediums, let's now see how they work with pigments on canvas. I'm going to be using ultramarine blue from Winsor & Newton for this demonstration. The stroke does not contain any medium and it is just the paint from the tube. Notice the consistency of this first paint, which breaks as you go down. But turpentine is often used to thin down oil paints and it results in a matte finish when painted on a painting surface like canvas or canvas paper. Now you can see the clear difference from using just oil paints versus using oil paints with turpentine, which gives a very consistent stroke. Next up is the linseed oil. The most often used medium is the linseed oil. Linseed oil dries to a glossy finish and it is resistant to cracking. Unlike the first stroke, which had no medium mixed in it, this third stroke is consistent just like the second stroke. The only difference is the finish. Turpentine leaves a very matte-like finish, whereas this third stroke, which has linseed oil mixed with the pigment, leaves a glossy finish. Oil paints are known for their slow drying property. You can reduce the drying time by half by using Liquid Original from Winsor & Newton. You can also use the drying oil from the Camlin brand as an alternative. Notice how even this fourth stroke is also very consistent. Liquid Original adds shine to oil pigments, leaving it glossy even when they dry completely. Here's a cotton swab test to compare the drying time of Liquid Original versus the other mediums. Notice how Liquid Original has dried off completely? I left them dry for an hour and filmed to see this comparison. Both linseed oil and turpentine are still wet when compared to Liquid Original. Alkyd mediums and liquid have proved to be a real boon over the past few years, as they literally halve the drying time of oils. I hope you found this video really helpful. If you liked it, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to this channel. I'll see you again with another informative video. Bye.